Welcome back, everyone, to the Unfunny Inc. podcast, episode 14. I am here, JO3, the guy that's been at every episode for some reason, with Justin, the other host who's been here the most.
Hello.
That kind of rhymed. That's pretty funny. I'm a comedic genius. And then our third guest, probably the last guest for a little bit, because, college, Mr. Wildaces, the man.
Hello, hello.
The man with a code in a video game. Very awesome. Make
Bro.
sure to use code WILDACES on Bad Business. Um, Figured I'd get that out of the way. Get the shit laid out of the way. All right, I'll take my check in the mail, Wild. No. Anyways, welcome back, episode 14. Probably the second to last one before we probably go like monthly or some shit. I
Oh
don't
my
really
god.
know. Something like that, cause college. But this episode, just like the last one of Angsky, kind of, sort of gonna start sort of interview-ish, I guess, and then we're probably just gonna ramble the second half, cause that's what you're here for, and tits in the thumbnail. But that's besides the point. Um, yeah, so obviously Mr. Ace is over here. Last time I checked, 1.24K last night, which
Yep.
is crazy. Man's
Wow.
already a fourth of the way to 2K. Mr. Ace is over here kicking
Yeah, pretty
ass.
insane.
That's crazy, man. You've been doing really good stuff the last couple months, especially. Like, you just exploded. It's
Yeah,
awesome to
I
see.
I don't know what happened. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know what happened.
Hey, it is what it is. It's
Mm.
awesome. So obviously your main game is Bad Business, and sort of like you branched out a little bit from like the different first person shooters on Bad Business, a couple other games. Just
hmm
like why Bad Business? That sounds bad. It's not meant to be bad. Like, what made you decide to make Bad Business the game you wanted to try out, and then it happened to work, so you kept it going? Is there any like specifics?
Um, I mean, I kind of just played it for a bit, and
Right.
then like obviously like off recording, off stream, all that stuff. I kind of just played it, and then I just had a lot of fun, and I kind of just got the idea to make a video out of it. So I just made a video one day, and then I made a couple more, and then now I'm a Roblox YouTuber. That's kind of how it
So
happened.
it's just
It
how
wasn't like I really chose the game. It's
well,
more
yeah.
of like the game kind of chose me.
Yeah, so it's just a case where you enjoyed the game, you made a video, the artsy couple, people just enjoyed it. Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best way for it to happen. Just natural sort of people just being interested, which is awesome because now you're getting hundreds of views of video, which is awesome to
Yeah.
see. People are really interested to the point where people will go to any sort of FPS you play on like besides Bad Business, on Roblox, and would probably honestly watch anything you uploaded, which is just awesome to
hmm
see. Obviously hit
Mm.
1K. You dropped the awesome 1K montage. Things are doing really well. You're
Yeah.
hopefully YouTube wanted to monetizes my boy once he gets to watch hours. I don't know why it's fucking 4,000, but
Ridiculous. Yeah, I'm like halfway there already.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, and obviously he does Twitch as well. Obviously, Wild's links will be in the description as all their guests are. So if you want to check him live, he also streams on YouTube now as well, but Twitch, YouTube, whatever, if you're not watching Wild Aces, come on now.
Come on, come on.
Come on.
Gotta watch
Gotta
Wildaces.
watch Wild Aces. Just don't be like the other host and go in every single one of his comment section or Twitter mentions and you know you know
Yeah.
uh,
That's pretty funny. Yeah,
it's
honestly, I feel like with me, uh, like I don't know, I think my content appeals more to like a younger audience, but it still has that like you could still watch it if you're like a teenager or maybe even older. I don't know. I kind of wanted to find like a balance in between because at the end of the day, I'm playing Roblox, right? I don't want to be
right.
swearing up a storm because I'd
Roblox
feel
has
like
a bad
terrible.
stigma of just
Yeah,
being for young people.
that is
Yeah.
true a little bit, but I think, yeah, it's definitely good to find like a balance, if with the way your content runs and stuff. I think for the most part, at least from my perspective, which obviously isn't the end all be all, I think the game works for the younger audience, and then the older people could still watch. But they watch strictly for you or Tulip or whoever's on your videos.
hmm
Honestly, I really enjoyed you just reacting to her. That was a really funny video. It's
Yeah.
good way to like try something different as well, and it did really well. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so I think for the most part, from my perspective, it seems most of the, I guess, older people, like I would say like 16 plus will go with that number. Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's
Um,
actually like the average amount of people that play it, like 16 plus. Like that's the average age group usually.
okay, yeah. So like maybe the older demographic for you is like maybe there for you and the other personalities, and also the game as well. But you know they have different reasons to watch, and that's always a good thing to a good balance to strike on YouTube. I'm a bit different. I cater to an older audience. I can't stop myself from swearing up a storm at times. So it happens. Everyone's different, but I think you found that good balance in the middle, with the content you do, and honestly, it's benefited a lot. Um, I know during like a recent-ish stream, by the time this goes up, you know, we looked. I took, you know, you asked me to take a look at your Social Blade, and it's really working, getting hundreds of views every single day. Um, it's Social Blade, so it's not completely accurate, but like
Mm.
10, we'll say like a couple hundred subs, like or like 100 subs, like every couple of days. It's crazy. It's awesome. To see what's going on, or at least like maybe not 100. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like 100. So I was like, man, Social Blade is really that off, huh?
Nah, nah. Well, there's a couple hundreds on there, but for the most part, it's like 10 every couple of days or 20. Uh, for like if we're not exaggerating here, which is still awesome, which sounds about right.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to
Honestly,
see.
I feel like another big thing too, right? And this is like kind of straying away from the whole bad business type of thing, more of
That's
like
fine.
into the YouTube side of things.
Oh, that's all right.
It's like I don't even pay attention to like the numbers and stuff like that. And I know that sounds like so cliche to say, but I don't know what it was, but last year I kind of was like into it, really looking at it, and I kind of stopped looking at it so much recently just because it's not beneficial to keep looking at numbers. That's why when I stream, I have my viewers off. I don't look at
Right.
viewership and anything like that because if I see that number drop at least like one or something, I'll be like out of the zone. I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then it'll like affect the stream or affect my videos, things like that. Now I just put out stuff I want to just because I want to.
Right. That's I can 100% vouch for that. This man was shocked in my chat when he looked at it. He says like, "Holy shit, that much?" That's all. Honestly, I think that is definitely the route to go. I take a look at my analytics like maybe after like a day after I upload the video just to see some funny statistics. Like apparently, over half my demographic is female when I probably haven't made a video that would cater to females once in my life, because I make Minecraft content, but for the most part, but you know, it's fine. YouTube statistics are weird, but honestly, I think it's better. I honestly I don't haven't looked at my view count live in like 6 months, and it's helped a lot. Um, it's made me actually, you know, enjoy doing the things I want to do and not play Among Us every single day like I did for 3 months.
Oh,
Um,
I can't hate
so
Among Us. It got me to affiliate.
well, you, that's fair.
Uh,
That's fair. But
it is also one of the reasons I stopped streaming
that is
overall.
true. That is one of the reasons you are now retired from streaming.
Yeah,
Um, so
I don't.
you know, it's probably more like a double-edged
It's a
sword for some
funny
people,
game.
maybe, but definitely, um, you know, it's I think it's better honestly, mentally if you don't look at analytics. But like so for the people who do, I mean, obviously, I'm not a big content creator, so my advice may not, you know, may not be important to you. Things I'm, you know, about to say, but I definitely, if you look at analytics and you care a lot about your views, if you call a video that maybe say you get a video that has like 1,000 views, and then your next couple videos, you know, don't get that insane amount of viewership. Don't feel too bad about it. It's YouTube. It happens. Don't like
I
stress
feel
about
like
your
that was
analytics.
someone
Huh? No.
not.
Nah. Um, like, I'll be honest. If if I cared about analytics, I'd be a commentary channel. I would probably
True.
have honestly at least 5 times the subs now, because it's commentary. It's very easy. It's the reason AA did so well for like 4 months, but it sucked because I barely slept because I had to catch everything as soon as it dropped, and it was just not fun uploading daily, and keeping up with drama to get the views. It really wasn't. Like, I think on occasion, you know, I'll drop a commentary vid or something close to a commentary vid, but like you know, don't care about analytics. That's the message. It took me a bit to get there, but that's the message. So that's
I
the advice
know
there.
me personally, I look at my analytics sporadically for like the first, I want to say, probably hour, just to see if my subscribers like the video.
That's fair.
Because I want to look at the viewer duration when it comes out. Because if the subscribers like the video, I'll make another video on it, even if it flopped.
You know, that's fair. That's fair to worry about the people that subscribe.
Yeah,
Um, Fair enough. Uh, I
yeah,
mean
I don't
that's a good
care
way
too
to look at it.
much.
I mean, like, but it's just, not every video is gonna do really well, especially as a smaller YouTuber. Some videos will get like 9 views, but really funny story times. I'm still upset about that one, but it's fine. Uh, I'm never gonna let that one down. But some videos will do insanely well. Some videos will be joining random TikTok SMPs that still gets about 20 views a day for some reason.
It's
Um,
a big of an idea.
Nobody had done it, and I find that shocking when I put up part 1. Somebody did it after with a slightly altered title, but nobody, at least with like that title and that sort of thumbnail and sort of build, had not done. And I find that to be insane. But it is what it is. Like, if I really cared, I would have put out part 10 or up to like part 10 like in a row to maximize, viewership and all that. Basically, it's find your balance between like focusing on stuff you enjoy to do. Like I would only do like commentary, or even if I stuck to gaming, I'd probably only do like I don't know what's my probably game reviews, honestly, and I like doing those, but like because those get views over time and they'll continue to get views if you care that much about viewership. And like I don't know, I would have pumped out like 3 Splitgate videos a day if I cared, you know, for like the last week. But
You think you're gonna be able to get on Splitgate enough to get 3 videos
hey,
out of it?
their servers are okay now. I hear. I don't know. I've installed it, but I haven't played it. And I couldn't tell you. Um,
I feel that.
that's just it is what it is. But it just don't stress out that much about it. Um,
Yeah.
Other YouTube tips, sort of that I would have. I don't know. Don't pull a Cheesus and upload once every 3 months. Um, don't pull a Harpo and I'm really reaching here. Give me a minute.
You really are.
uh, don't pull a Harpo and
Uploading spurts.
upload in spurts and upload 3 different, very different genres of videos. Oh, that's a good one I can go into. Find like a overall sort of general genre for your content. You don't want to put out like I don't know, a movie review and then do a vlog or something. I don't know, dude. Just kind of don't reach that to those like you may think at first, "Oh, hey, I'm pulling these viewers that like movie reviews to watch my other stuff." But they don't give a shit about your other stuff.
Probably not, no.
That's not how this
Justin
works.
while making a vlog 2 weeks ago, a game review a month ago,
Eh,
a bunch of gaming content.
Hey, listen.
Uh,
The vlog was a one-off probably. Um
Probably. I'd say so.
I was gonna put it on the Unfunny channel, honestly, but then I remembered, oh hey, no, and then I didn't.
If if another one if another one of our co-hosts would have been there, maybe
Maybe, but he just no showed, and I did
he
not
was.
find that very funny. Man just
I
slept
don't
all day.
find it funny, especially because we had to sit in a gymnasium that was 90 degrees for
Fucking like
3 hours.
it was like 95 for a lot of it too, and
Hmm.
it's sad because it was
Sounds
like
terrible.
It was
yeah,
all.
it
Yeah,
was like 75 outside, so like we skipped half the event and just walked around outside because it was 4th of July weekend and there was stuff going on outside. So we're like, hey, no, bye. We came here for one person and one person only, and they're in the main event.
they
And
were.
yeah, then we skipped 2 matches, and then some chick stole our seat in the front. I was like, you bitch. and then we stood in the corner till they left, and then stole our seat back. It's pretty cool. Um, Fun stories. Uh, where were? How did we get to the
I
Unfunny
don't know.
vlog? How these things
YouTube.
happen? YouTube, yeah, that thing.
On to the
Oh,
next topic. Why'd you start YouTube?
okay, yeah, we'll pull back to Wild.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why did I start?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it was just like why anyone else started. It was just like something to do, hobby, something you liked, just something I've always wanted to do.
Right.
And I just said I was gonna try it, so then I tried it. But obviously, I did not expect to get this far where I'm at right now. I
Right.
don't think anyone really expects to get like where I'm at right now, but it just sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely a slower thing because I know you said back on the AA podcast that existed. We started
True.
that
True.
channel and Wilds. We sort of started on the same around the same time, I believe, like pretty close. I think
Very similar, yeah.
2019, something
The
like that.
backstory of AA and Wildaces.
No, we want if we don't have to talk about that. It's a
Maybe
The
year.
later.
lore.
It's a year one. It's the lore of Wild Aces versus AA for like a week, and then it was internet beef, so it was dropped immediately.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't mind talking about like my old content, like how I went from what I used to do to what I do now. I don't mind
yeah,
talking
we
about
can
that.
we can go into it if you want. I mean, you
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
fine.
started like how, there was a bit of like commentary, and then you also had some gaming stuff, sort of, and then like you sort of had two different things going there. Um,
Yeah, and I heard we were like talking about like with Harpo or someone that was doing like different type of videos.
it was Harpo, yeah.
Yeah, Harpo. He was like doing different types of videos to try and pull in another audience. And I was kind of doing the same thing for a long time, like what he's doing. But I
Right.
can tell you right now from firsthand experience, sure it works, but when you have a video that does very, very well, and then you go take that same audience and try and do a different type of video on a different game, you're probably only get like 2-3% of that
Yeah.
uh like view count over.
Yeah, because they're there for that specific type of content or that game or that
Exactly.
whatever, and they're only
Yeah.
gonna watch that. Like, yeah, like I said, like movie reviews and vlogs. People that like your vlogs, your IRL life, are only gonna watch that. People who do the movie reviews are only gonna watch that. And then you have that like a very small
Couple people that
minority
like
that are like, yeah,
specifically
sure.
so they can watch whatever you're gonna put out.
Like they watch for they happen to enjoy you, so
Yeah.
they watch your other stuff. But it's very small, like minority. But yeah. So like you did two different things. I guess it's been long enough. I'll explain how AA and Wild happened. So basically, he found our channel. What was the reason? What was the reason? Uh,
I was looking to recruit people to
yeah.
my team that I was in.
Yeah, and then yeah, it was on like a live stream, and then somebody came over to our comments was like, "Hey, this guy Wild Aces made a video about you," and then linked the like the stream and put a timestamp. I was like, "Okay, I'll look at this. Why not?" Um, shout out. Well, don't shout out to Roger Stink because he also wasn't a very nice
That was
person.
his name?
Yeah,
I don't even remember,
it was
I
a very
swear.
funny name, so that's the only reason I remember it.
Yeah.
So then we looked at that. I was like, well, that's not very not a very cool thing, but it's YouTube. I was like, I should probably tell Harpo. He kind of also co-owns the channel. I was like, hey, Mr. Harpo, man, this guy's like sort of bashed us, but not really because it's YouTube. It is what it is. And he was like, I want to make a video about this. I'm upset. And I'm like, I mean, sure, but like this is breaking the fourth wall a bit because I haven't said this publicly, but it's like, sure, why not? I'll be there. And then the 30-minute video that I will say it to his face was not a good video. He well, did not get it was just it could have been edited. There's a thing called editing. Um, you know, we
Yeah, it was
we
very
share
uncut.
yeah, we share a Filmora account to use to edit what we did for AA. We could use it. You had a lifetime membership, but yeah, because he said because he wanted to make a video. I was like, okay, give me a day and I'll have one. And he's like, no, we're doing this now and we're cutting it up by tomorrow morning. I'm like, sure. And then that happened. Then the response I made later was not what the original response was going to be. It was really just laughing at the whole thing because it wasn't really that serious. Um, and
No,
then it was
was definitely
responding to,
weird.
yeah, it was responding to Wild's video, which was responding to our first video, which was a very, shit response to Wild's stream, uh, admittedly, and it was very funny. It was just a very funny time. And then like a couple months later, we were pretty chill. It's internet beef. Young Wookie happened, but we don't talk about that either. And Roger Stink happened.
I have no idea where he is now. No idea where young Wookie is. I
I
would
t-
like to know, but no
yeah,
idea where he is.
I think he commented on one of our videos like a few months after that, but like that's the last time I've heard from him, and like I'm worried for the kid. Like, don't get me wrong, the diss track was kind of funny, um, and Harper wanted to make one back, and they just never did. Don't get me wrong, I don't have legitimate beef with the kid. It's a kid. it's a YouTube. It's YouTube. Ain't that serious. So as long as
Yeah, he hasn't posted in over a year.
yeah, I'm a bit concerned. He like I didn't
No,
want
he's
to.
fine. I know what happened to him.
Okay. Well,
He's
as long as he's
he,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's all right. His mom found his YouTube channel
Oh,
and
Oh,
made him delete a lot of stuff that he was swearing in.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, looking back on it now, it's just it's so funny, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was a very funny sort of thing that just kind of happened, and we
Yeah,
were pretty chill after that. It is what it is. It's internet beef. It's not serious. I figured I'd explain that because it's been like a year and some months. And I think we haven't really talked about it since like the AA podcast, which was like July last year, I want to say, or June, something like that.
yeah,
So, figured we'd talk about it a little bit. I mean, Wild's been wanting to get on a podcast since the Great Goten
oh,
show existed, so figured we'd finally get that going. Um, yeah.
I
Uh,
just like podcasts, to be honest. That's all it is.
Honestly, it is pretty fun. What happened to the
yeah.
Wild show, by the way?
No
What
idea.
episode?
I literally said I'm gonna upload this like once a month, or I'm gonna do it when I feel like it. I completely forgot it existed. Someone in my stream the other day was like, "Hey, what is that channel, The Wild Show?" I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that." And I
Yeah,
I think I have like 40 subs on there that they're probably
yeah,
just sitting there waiting for another
Yeah.
another
yeah. I'm the
podcast, and I'm
same.
just like, nah.
I'd take 40 free
Uh,
subs. Just saying.
yeah, that, just upload once to all right, guys, into the Wild show.
Huh.
I was like, did he just not want to do it? I mean, I understand. Maybe he forgot about it. I didn't want
Well,
to be
it's
the
not
one to bring
that.
it
It's
up,
just like
but
there's no point for me to do it if I have nothing to talk about. That's just
right,
what it is.
it's
I feel
fair.
like if I were like a guest, like on another
Wow.
podcast, it'd be a lot easier to just talk about things, just because
Right.
there's random topics and things like that.
This is the least structured podcast ever, so it's the perfect one to just talk about things.
Yeah.
So
Well, the first one got 100 views, so it seems like you need to get a second episode on it.
gonna do it seasonally,
Yeah.
seasonal episodes. There we go. There's the
I'll
excuse.
probably do another one soon. Who knows? I don't want to do like extra long ones. I only do it like to
Right.
a little
Yeah.
bit of time, not much.
Yeah, we try to shoot for an hour, but we don't always hit an hour. That's kind of just our
No.
threshold. Just because it's, the second half is usually just us rambling anyway.
We ramble till we get to a point where we can't anymore, and then we end it.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see.
So
That's
back to the question about starting
well,
YouTube.
well, he already answered that.
Yeah. Joe,
Um,
why'd you start YouTube?
why are you? This isn't. Are we at the
I'm
rambling
curious. I
stage?
want to know.
Why'd Joe
Um,
start YouTube?
I'm
uh,
questioning you on your own podcast right now.
You know what? Fair enough. It's your episode. You're the guest. Sure. I'm just gonna get interrogated. It's fine. So there's this very interesting year called 2015. Um, for legal purposes,
That's
and
good.
TOS purposes, 13-year-old child named the Great Goten was like, "Oh, I want to do a YouTube channel. I'm gonna make a video on my iPad." And then I did, and then that's the beginning of it all. That is currently private, and will remain
Hey,
private for the rest of eternity.
I've seen
Um,
some of those videos.
yeah, it's actually there's actually a public version. I reacted to it, but the original version's private. Um,
Yeah.
so then I just did that for like 4 years. Along that time was part of a thing called like Ghost Clan, which is the least original name ever, but like, why not? A group channel, sure. That turned out to be a terrible idea. After 3 attempts, I realized that.
Huh.
Uh, And then there
What are you
was
talking about? Unfunny podcast is going great.
no. This is different. This is different. That had been the fourth attempt. This one's fine. It's just a podcast. So that happened, and then I got kicked out of that because it was just our IRL friend group, and that IRL friend group is a bunch of asshats.
He has
Um,
videos on
I do.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like when they saw I made a video on you, they literally came out of nowhere again. And if it wasn't for them, I probably would have not been friends with you because they came to me and they were like, "Hey, you should make another video on this guy." And I was like, "Why?"
Bro,
I just
those
literally said,
kids hate him,
"Why?"
and I don't know why.
Yeah, and I contacted you. I don't know if you remember me contacting you. And then ever since then, like we just became friends.
I think that I think that was our first interaction post like quote unquote
Yeah.
internet beef, and like I think it was Twitter. You kind of was like you asked about it, and we talked for a bit. Yeah, so I'll explain that a bit since it was brought up. So yeah, the asshats, some of them are alright. Like Bio was in that friend group, and me and her are pretty chill.
Rest in peace,
Um,
bio off the internet.
off the internet, kinda. They're still. I think they left pretty much all the discords, but I think one. So that's my only way of contacting them. Um,
Yeah.
they still exist. You know, they're still chill. Then there was Fast Hunter, who I was chill with until. Oh, I mean, I am like now again. We made up, but we just don't really speak as much as we did. Who was like the thumbnail sort of guy for a bit with AA. He made a couple of like the IRL videos that were out of school, like Harpo breaking his hand in VR, um, and a couple others. That was the whole thing that probably sparked them to come to you. I made the Fast Hunter rant, which admittedly was um not good. In terms of like I rushed it out because I was very frustrated with the dude. I really shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I regret that, and I'm willing to admit that I made that mistake, which is why I reached out to him to make up, um, like a few weeks later, just after the things had died down. Because that caused that friend group to come at me for no reason. I was mad at him for wrong reasons. The only valid reason I would admit is because he wanted money, no, going into AA. Well, he didn't want money going into AA. We told him like, hey, you don't have to do this. He never like he could have quit at any time as well. I'll explain that. To making thumbnails. It was strictly we brought him on. He was interested in just doing thumbnails for us, and we are like, hey, yeah, sure. Just know we don't fucking make money, so we can't pay you. So are you sure? And he was like, yes. So there you go. There's that. There's the.
There you go. There's a backstory.
I'll get him on the podcast. Never, because I don't actually. No, I probably could. Just to get his side, but that's
That'd
pretty
be
much how
pretty
it went down.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no bad blood between us anymore. It's once again pretty much internet beef with me and him. Now the other asshats that I had to make two
That's IRL beef.
30-minute videos, podcast style videos on, because people wanted them, and if I did it in one, it would have been I split it like. Let's see. I was with I knew those asshats from middle school to high school, so I split it up like
Yep.
middle school days where things were pretty chill because it's middle school, and then high school freshman year when everybody was down
Middle school was awful.
terrible.
How
Freshman year,
did
the
you
worst
get
year
on
for
their
everyone.
bad side though? Like, what did you do?
Make a video suggestion. I'm
What
not
do you
joking.
mean?
So Ghost Clan was made up of them. They kicked me out. I don't remember why the first reason. I think it was just like a fight that was fucking stupid, probably over a video game. Then a day later, I was brought back in, or like a few days later, because it was fucking stupid. Um, and it was just me and Fast Hunter pretty much carrying the channel. Um, so then they rebranded to Forced Impact. I don't know. I don't get the names
They
either.
did.
Yeah, yes. Now Forced Impact's been deleted. I didn't have. So so then we were there for like a little bit. Then I think it was like June. I want to say. If the first like bit of beef that led to me like stop being friends with them. My family takes like a trip a year. Like we have our summer trip as a family. So I was on that trip. And every West Virginian and anyone on the East Coast knows the cheapest trip is Myrtle Beach. Let's be real here. So
Yeah.
we were at Myrtle Beach, uh, and I get a text, and this part's kind of serious, so fair warning with that. There was somebody with a firearm near the old middle school we had went to. We were in high school at this point. It was the end of freshman year. Luckily, they were caught. Nothing happened. Justin might remember this.
No.
And yeah, the school went on lockdown. They caught the person before anything happened, and we were talking about it. And for some fucking reason, somehow they made an argument out of it. I don't remember the exact details. And then like a week later, after I'd gotten back home, some IRL stuff happened. Not with them, that I won't go into because it's serious. Like shit. I've talked about it in before, but I won't talk about it here. And so basically, I was worried about that. That was more important right then, so I didn't really talk. And then, so Force Impact, I edited on my phone at the time or my shitty laptop. So the videos were, editing, you could put in quotes. It was really basic shit. So, like,
Yeah.
Videos didn't come out for a few weeks. So I was like, hey guys, I'm not available very much, but I'm going to try. I just don't really have any ideas right now that I could work on. So, like, let's make this tab for video suggestions. And then I left one. And then for whatever reason, that led to another argument. And then they kicked me out for some reason. For some reason. Then I made a thing called Ghost Guild that lasted over the summer.
These guys kind of sound very toxic.
They are. Most of them. Fast Hunter and his nephew that were in the group I don't have any bad blood with them, at least I don't think I do. Shit, they might talk about me behind my back. I know the group did. But
I wasn't in this group, just
no. I didn't really talk. I talked to Justin, but like not really out of school that much at this point.
Like sophomore year?
This was right after freshman year, summer of
that's like when we stopped talking for a year.
For like a year because we had no classes together. And we didn't really talk outside of school that much. So, it's a long story. I know I ramble. My bad. So over the summer I made Ghost Guild because Force Impact died after that pretty much, and then I brought Fast Hunter in. I brought his nephew in, who I say nephew, but he's literally like a year younger than him. It's just a family thing. It's pretty. I still find it really funny that he's his uncle and only like a year older. It's just a fun fact. So I brought them in. I brought Harpo in. This is closer to sophomore year when I started talking to Harpo again, and then I brought. At the time, his name was Hoovian. His name in my Discord now, and everyone's Discord is called Nomad. He streamed for a bit, but
Banjo.
Closest thing. Good old Banjo. He's also on It's also Banjo on some Discords. And then we started. That was the first podcast I'd ever done. So we had the Ghost Guild podcast. We had we played a lot of World War II. Was the most recent game at that time in the Call of Duty franchise. We did some Friday the 13th because that game wasn't dead because of a lawsuit yet. We just did a bunch of stuff. It was pretty much AA on a much smaller scale, and then that channel. Then I started AA the following year, and then I kind of merged Ghost Guild and that. Ghost Guild still exists. You can find it, and nothing's been deleted. The last video is called "We Merged" with another channel, and it's the AA logo. If that would help people if they're interested. And then that was pretty much into that, and that pretty much leads up back to where, we were, AA, all that fun stuff. There's the story of those assets. The Fast Hunter rant happened, and they came at me again. To the point our school got involved for like a single day, and then never talked about it again. Go figure. Hey. So yeah, that's my last interaction of most of them.
Okay.
So there you go. There's that whole story. Tried to explain it.
Yeah, because I never really understood like what happened. I will say like there's like a couple things in there that was like that was dumb, like on your part, and also dumb on their part.
Oh yeah, no, I'm willing to admit when I'm in the wrong. That's also something they don't do. I skipped over.
I will say like you making an entire video about somebody like doing something to you in the game is a bit like. That's a bit like, what are you doing, Joe? Come on now.
Come on. No, that was that. It was primarily because of the game, and then him wanting money pissed me off, and that was like my only thing. I was like, okay, that could have been handled in DMs though. Yeah, I regret making that video.
Dylan Crimson and not paid your workers.
No, we don't talk about Dylan Crimson. We don't talk about Crimson Esports.
We don't.
I mean, we can.
Because I have no idea. I still don't know what the heck happened with that.
No one.
All I know is that something happened with him, and he left the internet for good. And that was it. This is more turning into an episode about you, Joe, than it's about me.
Yeah, it
Joe,
happens.
Joe has lots of controversies on the
That's
internet.
I
hilarious.
do, for whatever reason. Honestly, I don't
Crimson's
know.
the only one I've been involved in.
Yeah, well, yeah, I skipped out on one detail with the whole asshat friend group, but that's fine.
That's
That pretty
okay.
much explains why they never apologized for anything, which is why things never got better in that friend group. It never admitted they were wrong. But that's details that were in the story of the Yeez part 1 and 2. If you want to watch that, my channel's also in the description.
I just-
Gotta chill out a
I'd
little
just
bit,
like to say Justinmd has never been personally involved in any
He
controversies on
hasn't,
the
no,
internet
no.
outside
Yeah,
of
well,
Crimson.
Crimson Esports was really us.
Although I was in the dark on that.
Yeah, I'll explain what I know as like their what the fuck was the title? At first I was the CCM, the content creation manager. Then I was the president of content creation, aka they gave me a position so they
Streamer.
could get another one. So they could get another content creation manager under me, which they never did. So what
They should have
happened?
promoted me.
It probably could have. So what happened was at first, it was esports and content, two different sort of branches, I guess. Then I don't know why. I know his like reasoning he gave, but I didn't really. I guess it makes some sense. The esports one was kind of falling apart, so he's like, "Let's just cut that off."
It
I
was
was
really
like,
unorganized.
"That's not very smart," but
It was a big part of Crimson.
yeah, but it's not my department. It's not what my say. I handle the content side. I'm working on a video right now for the Crimson Community Channel. That's not my business. Take that up with the COD manager, the esports manager, everyone else. So they announced that like the day after that conversation came up in like the fucking private chat that all the management had. The other issue was like there was no communication between him and anyone else. It was pretty much me or anyone else in management running to tell people what he's planning to do or him rolling stuff out.
Single conversation with him.
Yeah.
I think I was there for 2 months.
Yeah.
And that's just because they needed a representative from the streamers to talk about issues.
Pretty much. And he left it to me to get somebody. So I was like, yeah, I'll message Justin. He's available.
Yep.
And then once it was just content, I was literally pretty much done with that video. I was gonna put it up as a reintroduction to like the content side of things because it'd been a bit since like that sort of was talked about, and we had recruited a bunch of new people. Then somebody came out on Twitter and added everybody who's like, because they made an announcement tweet saying, "Hey, well, here's everyone's left that's a part of the content," and added everyone.
Yeah.
Then that person quote tweeted that, added everyone that was there, and was like, talking about how the co-owner, not the owner himself, not Dylan, although Dylan was also
Dylan handled it poorly, but he wasn't really.
It was the co-owner. So apparently, this person was a coach, I think for COD.
I think so. Yeah.
They'd given them a contract, which had 3 months of. It was like a 3 months payment or something guaranteed, and it was like I don't remember how. I think it was a 6 month contract. They're gonna get paid so much the first 3 months, as like while and help build up the side, and then get paid as well afterwards once they start.
It was pretty much to ensure that the person didn't jump ship.
Pretty much. Which most people in management that were 18 or older, they had contracts. I didn't have one because I was 17 at the time, but so I could just talk if I really wanted to. And then Dylan, somebody brought up to Dylan. He talked in the content Crimson Discord that he made afterwards for some reason. I was like, I'm gonna handle this. You guys continue on. And then like a bit after,
2 hours later.
yeah, he was like, "Good luck and all this stuff, guys. I'm going dark."
I thought
he meant his own socials. He was going dark.
I thought so too.
But then everything from Crimson slowly started to disappear, starting with the old Crimson Discords, then the community Discord, then the Crimson Twitter, then I think you forgot about the Instagram actually. I think it still exists. Then he deleted everything off its TikTok.
The only thing left from Crimson is the Twitter group message, which is literally just Unfunny Inc. and some random person that has not left.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the channel's down. I still have access to the channel, I think, so I could bring it back up. Unless he changed the password. I haven't tried. It'd be really funny, but I'm probably.
In all honesty, though, like do not sign contracts
Oh
to a
no,
small org. Like
no,
that is ridiculous.
that's a terrible
Speaking about
idea.
orgs and stuff, I don't even like do orgs anymore. I remember the
I don't
last
either.
yeah, the last podcast that I was in with you, Joe, we were in the AA podcast.
Yeah,
And I was saying that, orgs are a good way to grow, but in all honesty, they can only take you so far. And
yeah,
I'm so much happier like on my own right now than like being in an org. Like for the longest time I was grinding for what's that one team? Team Synergy. I
yeah.
wanted to join that team for so long. If they came to me now, I wouldn't join. I'm better on my own. Like I seriously am. I don't want a boss. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, I'm
I
in
didn't like
one,
that I had to have a
but
schedule.
yeah, I'm
It
in
felt
one,
forced.
but strictly for the fact that a friend invited me and they didn't make me sign any sort of contract. I could trash them if I wanted to, but I won't because it's actually a pretty cool group of people. I definitely feel like the odd one out because all of them are a lot older and have very different schedules and sort of I like ways of seeing streaming. But Retaliation's pretty dope. I know all the other two Unfunny boys are in Zelix, I think is how you say it, esports. But like I definitely am in agreement that it's if they make you sign a contract, dip
Yeah, don't.
immediately. Do not. I would have not signed a contract for Crimson at all.
It
Um,
just seems so like I don't know, like
It's
well,
suspicious.
yeah, it's very, very suspicious.
yeah.
It really is. That was a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
They voided all of the esports contracts when they dropped esports as well. We'll say that they didn't
Yeah.
try to like hold them onto it at least, but like
Don't guarantee money that you don't have, pretty much.
yeah, which
Yeah.
was the co-owner's fault, admittedly. But the person did get compensated some by Dylan. I'll give him that, but he wasn't able to pay the full like 3 months worth what they were owed. So I'll give him that. I just think Dylan's biggest issue was he jumped on things too quickly, sort of like a commentary go and fast on it. Learn
So
from your mistakes, kids. And he just like pushed things out before they were done. Like he put up a ranking
he
sort of system. He
he had
put
a
out all
lot
these
of
things.
ideas and he didn't want to wait to do them.
No, he didn't want to wait to like flesh them out and talk amongst people, and that was his biggest issue.
Especially, he had a lot of ideas for Crimson, but didn't talk them over with anyone else in Crimson
Not
before
really, no.
implementing the ideas, which was a
Like,
big problem.
yeah, I think honestly, the biggest issue with Crimson, it got suspicious and bad, like terrible around once they started to like grow very quickly, which can affect
Yeah,
people obviously. Because I think it was like December and early January. There was the Crimson podcast. There was a few streamers, and there was just a COD team, and it was honestly pretty fine. And then as they grew, it got worse and worse.
yeah, I
They
know. Me and
struggled
you,
to, yeah,
Joe, have had like we had multiple conversations about how there's so many teams, and they just kept adding them and adding them and adding
yeah,
them, and
yeah.
they never competed in anything.
Yeah, they struggled to. They kept adding people that, and then a lot of them also left. But they
Yeah,
struggled to like bring in new management to help fulfill the newer teams. They had the GM of esports. They had president of content creation, which was me. They had a stream team manager, who literally never spoke with me about anything and trash talk people,
I spoke to them
behind their
once.
back. Um, or that's what somebody
That
told
led to
me.
some
But
people leaving as well.
Who
yeah.
who was that? I feel like I know who that is. I just don't
It's
know their name.
I'll tell you after the podcast because like they're fine
Okay.
now. We made a don't get me wrong. After Crimson, we're chill. It's just in that position. I think they were frustrated and probably shouldn't have been in the position.
Should have been
Yeah,
just
and all these decisions were made by Dylan, right? The guy
pretty
who owned it.
much.
Yeah,
Pretty
see, that's the
much.
thing, like,
It,
I'll say this because I'm not really like, I don't know, like I'm not really scared or anything, but like he just
yeah,
doesn't know how to run a team. That's just what it is.
It didn't seem
yeah.
like it.
He was not fit for running a team.
I will say I will point out he is also only like I think he was 19 or
I think
18.
he was 19.
He was very young and had a lot of like lofty goals, but like yeah, I think it was a case where he didn't have the experience to be like the owner of a esports
Yeah,
org. He could have, I think, the way he did things would have been fine as like I don't know, a team lead or maybe like a department lead, but he should not have been the man to make the calls from the top. The co-owner
Yeah.
I thought was a really cool person, then he dipped off the internet. Admittedly,
He
he was
did do
going through some
that.
IRL things, but at that point,
Yeah,
you shouldn't have been, handing out contracts and then dipping. You should have at least informed
yeah.
people, I don't think he even informed Dylan.
I don't think he did either. Dylan
Um,
seemed really shocked when the information came out.
because they
Yeah,
both
so there's like no
handled
information
different things.
whatsoever, like no
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was.
communication was
That's
their issue.
terrible.
I know I
Yeah.
made a video about it and then never uploaded it.
I made the one when it
And
first died,
communication was
and I recorded another that I never put up. I could put it up, but
lack of communication was the main point in that video.
yeah, that was the biggest issue, which like I haven't had the issue with retaliation yet. They have like monthly meetings with the stream team. I won't say too much because I'm not under contract or anything, but I don't have issues with them, so I won't
Yeah.
go into too much. And they're pretty good at talking. The Mercy is her name. She's really good at getting everyone involved as much as possible. And honestly, I don't have issues with it yet. Now, if they try to make me sign a contract, I'm gonna be honest. I'll say it right now.
He's gone.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
happening. They're not. It's not a big enough thing. They could not promise me anything that would make me sign a contract.
I took a vow never to go to another org. And when I stopped streaming, that really
Well,
confirmed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Another big thing
didn't
about
think
Crimson
it.
that I noticed too was like they said I saw a lot of people when they left or they were grinding for another org, they would just immediately kick them out of the team, right? And
That's
A lot
for
of
me,
people kicked out.
yeah, for me personally, if you're kicking somebody out of your own organization just because they're grinding for another team, that is ridiculous. And the only
yeah.
reason why I say that is because they're not
That happened a lot
allowing
on the
you
esports
to
side.
grow.
Yeah.
They're not allowing you to grow your own like brand channel and like branch out from just the team and taking the team with you.
Yeah. No,
They wanted they
I
wanted to focus on like collaboration, but it never happened.
Yeah, so that was another thing. There was a few incidents where they kicked somebody out just for grinding for another team. I will say there
Yeah.
was two incidents in mine where I think it wasn't Crimson's fault that they had to boot somebody. One,
I think I know who you're talking about.
the person was grinding for a team, which wasn't the issue. The issue is they jump shipped immediately, then wanted to come back, and then started trash talking when they weren't
Yeah.
allowed back after jumping ship after only being in for like a week. Like they joined us, jumped ship a week later, tried to jump back, and then when we were like, "Oh, we're kind of full right now," they started trash talking
Was this
the
on the
league.
esports side?
This was esports.
Yeah, I know who you're
Um,
talking about. Okay.
then there was one on the content side, where the person, which from their point of view maybe would have made more sense. I don't really understand their point of view. They were on the stream team. People lurked. A lot of the stream team lurked. They didn't speak
Yeah.
too much in each other's chats, but they followed each other. We tried to support. This person contacted Dylan, I guess, and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave, because nobody's showing support when people lurked." And I also want to point out, this person, from what I had seen, which I didn't get to watch everybody stream. Obviously, there's too many people to be able to
Yeah.
tab in with everyone at all times. But I always tapped into the boys I brought in, into a lot of the streamers. I had never seen him in their chat, which he could have been lurking. But like,
The
if you
people that
want,
left from the stream team that I remember that were complaining about like people from the team not supporting each other had never followed me
yeah,
on
they had never followed
Twitch. I don't think they
Justin.
hadn't followed anyone in Unfunny. It was really clicky.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
followed me strictly probably for the fact that I was CCM and later, sort of their quote unquote boss, I guess. Um, but like they never followed anybody else. They never in Unfunny. They never really, because all of us were part of Crimson. All of Unfunny was. I brought all three of them in. I brought up half the stream team in pretty
How
much.
dare you?
Uh, my bad. It was promising at the time. All right. But
It was.
and then that person left because they never showed support to anybody else. So why would people feel inclined to support them? I mean, sure, we
Yeah.
should support each other, but like, you can't really complain about that if you don't. You gotta do what It's the golden rule, If you want to, it's like a modified
True.
golden rule. If you want support, you gotta at least support others, man, as well. It's
Yeah.
a double-edged
Anyone
sort
can
of
be treated
sword.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Like, like I'll admit, there's plenty of times where my sleep schedule's fucked and I don't make people stream, so that's a thing.
Right.
But I also lurk a lot, so they may never see me talk in chat, but I'm there in a lot of people's streams. I just also have watched less and less Twitch as time's gone on because I'm
Yeah, I
doing
don't
other
watch Twitch
things.
anymore. Pretty much, it's just the boys now.
But I try to support any way I can of people.
Yeah.
And that's because it's just a nice thing to do. I like helping people. I mean, if they help me back, that's cool. It's not something you shouldn't expect it, but if it happens, it happens. It's cool. Um, so those are the
So,
two I would defend Crimson on, pretty
so I
much.
started uploading again because I
Oh,
wanted a creative outlet.
we're moving on to Justin now. It was Wild, and then it was me, then it was
My
Justin
story
now.
is gonna be like 30 seconds. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I started uploading again because I had stopped streaming and I wanted a creative outlet pretty much. So I started uploading again, and that's been going on for a
Ooh,
month now, and I'm having fun.
That's
dang,
awesome. Are
that's
you gonna
good.
like keep doing it? Like, is it something that you
It depends on
genuinely want to keep
college.
doing? Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can, then I will. That's the plan.
And by college, he means his roommate, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
don't know my roommate's schedule,
Yeah, pretty
so
much. I was gonna be his roommate, then I didn't.
you should
My
have
bad.
next
Look,
year.
look. Money is costly, all right?
Money is that
I also really
that
did want to move yet, so I
that's
stayed
fair.
local. It is what it is.
It is.
Yeah. If they had sent me a scholarship like they did 3 months after I told them I wasn't interested, and they sent it like 3 months before then, maybe I would have gone.
I wish I
You
would
know?
have just not told them. I wish I would have told them I wasn't interested and then just waited for a scholarship.
Yeah. No, that's just great.
Yeah,
I don't. College is weird, kids. College is boring to talk about, but like it's weird. That's all
it's
you need
weird.
to know. It is very weird. Um, but that's pretty
Let's get
much.
let's get back on schedule a little bit.
Oh yeah, go back to content stuff.
Wild, what's your sort of future in content creation looking like?
I
with
mean,
the way things are going right now, I'm hoping I could be able to like do this full time in the future. I mean, it's looking pretty likely right now if I'm growing at the same pace, obviously, in like years from now. But um, I think I don't think I'll ever just sit here and be like, oh yeah, I do YouTube, Twitch, all that sort of stuff full time. I'll always have like a real job. This mostly will be a hobby on the side, just because
mm,
I never want to sit here and make this a job, because once it is a
You
job,
need
it
to
starts
do
feeling
something.
like a job,
Yeah,
and I don't want
that's
that to
fair.
ever happen.
I get that.
I feel that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hey, if you're growing at this isn't me trying to be like, just you can comment it all you want. Oh, JO3 just wants to, get views from Wild. No, um,
Wild. He just wants to
I
clickbait Wild more.
yeah, yeah, no, of course. Hey, he gave me permission to clickbait him. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't mind.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. It was
Uh,
gonna be called something else, but it's fine. Um, no, genuinely, I think like you got the big future. I mean, it's Roblox. It's a pretty big game. It might stagnate at times, but I think
if
easy,
Ronald wasn't such a dud,
easy.
maybe
Not
that's where I would be right now.
fucking Ronald. I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
Ronald.
Great.
the thing
I
is
love it
I'll only keep playing uh like Bad
if you
Business
enjoy it.
Roblox, yeah, if I enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, I'm not gonna keep doing it.
And that's
And right
fair.
now, I'm having a like buttloads of fun, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep playing it, and that's all that really matters. It's not
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like I get people all the time, especially like my old fan base. I get comments sometimes, people saying like, "How did you go from roasting kids to playing a kid's game?" I was like, "Man, I don't know. It just happened." Like I really don't know. I couldn't tell you, but
Yeah, fair enough. It just happens. That's YouTube for you. And you
yeah,
just go from thing to thing. Like, you
Yeah.
want to do stuff that's fun. Sure, you might get a video idea. It's not. It could be fun recording. There's your fun, obviously. But like I probably have. I mean, there's gonna be videos you don't enjoy as well at the same time. At least making them. Then the satisfaction for that comes when people enjoy it, as well. But I definitely would say overall, do what you enjoy. If I didn't, enjoy Bad Business, I wouldn't play it. on occasion. On stream. I still find it funny every time I play Bad Business off stream. I always end up in Wild's game. I'm like, oh, there's Wild Aces, and then
Yeah,
he's
I'm
on.
always just playing. I'm always
Yeah,
playing no matter what.
yeah. It always throws me in your game because we're friends on Roblox, and I was like, and then when you're on the enemy team, I'm like, oh shit, there's Wild Aces, and then
Wild Aces.
yeah, Justin found.
Yeah,
That was
no,
it.
the amount of times we've been in a call and Joe just goes, "Oh, it's Wild Aces." I'm like, "Oh, he's playing
Yeah,
Bad Business again."
Just out of nowhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think like honestly going to the whole YouTube thing again. Like I think the biggest thing that happened to me this year, obviously like aside hitting 1K, like
Mhm.
that was a pretty big deal. But I had a huge YouTuber reach out to me and I collabed with, and I
Hey.
thought that was awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, for
Like they
sure.
have 150K around there.
Dang.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. I
Yeah,
legit couldn't believe it.
no, that's
And
awesome.
that to me, that right there, when I saw that, when I used to do uh those different type of videos to what I do now, I really made a very good decision in switching my content over and stuff. And it was really hard for a while to do that because shifting an audience, like I said, it's very hard.
Oh yeah.
But I'm 100 times happier with the audience I have now than what I did before because my audience before was toxic, was
Oh yeah.
so toxic.
That
It was bad.
yeah. That's the other issue
Anytime
with.
anyone made a single comment about me, they would go in my comment section, "Hey, this person said this about you. Hey, they said this about you." And I'm like, "Oh my god." It
Yeah.
was bad.
My audience is just really homosexual. Has been since I've been streaming.
Bro,
I don't
bro.
know why. I
Yeah.
just play into it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, like I definitely get that. I mean, for my little bit of like time and commentary, it's that you can have a really toxic audience. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the warning I want to give. We give anyone that wants to do commentary. Fair warning. There's a high likelihood, at least a small portion of your audience is not subscribed, but also that they are toxic. Um, you know, so
God.
that's just a
Yeah.
fair warning. There's also a pretty big audience, here that is not subscribed. So if you want to subscribe, and what am I kidding? They clicked off like 50 minutes ago. It's fine.
Yeah, they already clicked off.
The people who
Right.
watch this late, if you want to leave a comment to let me know, I'll give you a heart. Yeah, 57 minutes, and it's fine.
Go watch the other podcast, or
Don't
one
watch
of
the one with Koro, because
oh, don't watch that one.
it's a bit rough.
Go watch
but-
my videos, but not the last one, which
Not the
prop on,
last one?
because that one's offensive.
It's a bit
But besides
offensive.
that, all my content's
Also,
pretty good besides that.
always know, everything we say that's offensive is a joke.
Please don't take it seriously.
Fair warning. I've overstepped a couple times, admittedly. My bad. He didn't tell me he was recording half the previous video. Please don't.
Hey, whoa. I cut out everything. We're fine. Everything bad.
Sorry, I got told I can't say that. I'm under contract. My
What?
bad. Huh? The contract.
Contract?
Yeah, the
Money in the
contract that
Bank?
you signed. No, contract.
I just remember.
This is also
Going
a
back
bit.
to contracts.
Yeah, this is
I don't
also
know
a
if I want to
bit.
bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways because why not?
Do it.
Okay. I remember one day I was in voice with Joe and he got a DM from Wild Aces, not being too happy with him.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, you overstepped the line there.
I
Wild
did.
isn't too pleased with you.
That was my bad.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know if I want to bring this up.
I will say it.
That right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. You overstepped. You jumped that, dude. I was on Twitter and I was just like, I was having a good day and I just looked, I'm like, who posted this? And then I looked and I was like,
It was
why did Joe
purely
post that?
it was purely in correlation with Jay Schlatt getting Twitter
That
canceled.
was
Pretty much.
It was there. I don't tweet on things on Twitter as much for a reason, I just tweet, "Hey guys, here's some upcoming videos."
The only reason why I contacted you about that stuff was because I was just trying to save your ass. Because believe it or not, yeah, you may think like I have a small YouTube channel. You might think like I have a small YouTube channel. No one's gonna see it. No one's gonna hear this. Even right now, you may not even think people are hearing us right now, right? But I guarantee you, all it takes is one person One person to take this, go on Twitter, say something at you in it, and that's it. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened with Dylan, right?
Yeah.
One thing, that's it, and he's gone. That's why. You just have to be
Dylan,
careful with that sort of stuff. It's
Dylan, like
not.
didn't pay people.
Dylan was that was just I don't know what
That's
he
like
was doing.
borderline
Yeah.
illegal.
He like it. He could have
But yeah,
honestly
the
probably managed that, and he just
the
dipped.
Jackbox video definitely crossed the line a little bit, just a bit.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it was
Yeah.
the thumbnail.
Uh,
The thumbnail crossed the line. That was the problem with it.
The
Yeah.
that was the
definitely.
that was the bad time when I was all about analytics. And
It
I
probably did
was
views, to be fair.
it did, but it was not. We don't talk about. We don't.
Yeah, views can get you into like some real big trouble sometimes
Yeah.
mentally and just
Look at people
any
like
of that.
Keemstar. Look at
It was
Yeah.
career
it.
trajectory.
We don't talk about it. All right. It's one of the many ideas I had that were probably not
I mean, to
worth
be
the
fair,
views.
Should have
But
been kept as an idea.
now Keemstar's sort of just like the weird uncle of YouTube.
oh
which is
yeah,
kinda
but
funny,
he's but he's Keemstar. That's different.
He is
Man's
Keemstar.
probably that's Keemstar. Anyways,
He's like
enough
40 or
about him.
something.
He's old.
True.
Yeah, that was one of the things that should have been in the vault of shitty ideas by JO3. But you know, it's my bad.
Yeah, I remember when you sent that to me. That was a
Yeah.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago now.
Yeah, that was right after Schlatt's one that got canceled. That's why I did it, and I thought it was, oh yeah, this will be funny.
It was you should have changed the thumbnail after like a day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask that actually.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Oh well. At
Confronting
least
Joe's storied past.
yeah. That was one of the ones that's like, yeah, my bad. For sure. That was one of the ones that yeah, that was me. My bad.
Don't you know, Joe is known for being an edgy YouTuber.
Am I?
Hmm.
Am I? Fuck. How?
Obviously.
I make Minecraft content. What did I do? What did I do this time?
This time.
Yeah. You know, like yeah. Anyways, we hit an hour. So you know, anything else before we wrap this up? One more episode after this, and then maybe monthly, and we'll never speak about this again. Yeah, woo!
I've made Joe feel awkward.
That's the first time you've managed that on this podcast. Harper does it every episode he's on. But
this was the exact opposite of what I expected. I thought that I'd just make wild puns until Wild just left. Honestly.
Nah. If Cheesus would have joined, that's all it would have been.
Yeah, the funniest thing too about those wild puns is Harpo comes to my stream every single time.
He does.
And he drops it in there, and I can just tell he's sitting in a VC somewhere and just laughing his butt off.
He isn't. He actually isn't. At least not with us.
Not with us.
Every time I see it, I just look at it. I don't even acknowledge it. I just skip over. I'm like, okay, let me go find another chat to read because I'm not reading his.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think his goal is to spread it to the rest of your audience until you just have to quit live streaming.
I think that's his goal, yeah. No.
There was this one kid that kept doing it, and he kept like spamming it, and then I threatened to ban him from my chat, and he stopped. I was like, if you make one more wild joke, I'm gonna ban you. And then he's like, okay.
Wild.
Yeah. No.
He's gonna have to go to Facebook gaming live stream.
No, not Facebook gaming. Anything but Facebook gaming. Not even Mixer.
Funny story about Facebook. Me and Joe created Facebook accounts for our YouTube channels because we wanted to see if we could reach an untapped market.
No.
And it didn't go well, to say the least. We joined a couple of groups, But all of the videos were just like people from like different countries that didn't really understand what YouTube was, at least in a US sort of view.
Yeah.
So it just didn't really
Huh.
translate very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it be known, the YouTube market on Facebook, primarily people from India and like the UK. That's what I found.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
The UK is okay, but India, it's
yeah,
just like it's a whole different culture.
they
So the
it
videos
didn't really
weren't really
didn't
that
mesh
much.
well. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Is that how you guys met Lewis?
no. Lewis was
Oh,
through
do we want to
Cheesus.
talk about Lewis?
Do we want to? Nah, that was completely a Cheesus thing. You can blame Cheesus
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah, you can blame Cheesus for Lewis.
Jesus was the one who told him about the SMP. He applied, and then Jesus is the reason he existed on the SMP.
Cheesus was his
Oh, that's
alibi
cool.
to get on.
Yeah, that was yeah. He knew. I knew who Lewis was before then, but I'd never
I
actually
had no
spoken
clue.
to him. But like that was it was all Jesus, because he was
He's
also
a lot
on.
more chill off stream.
I would say so. Yeah, when you're not trying to do Minecraft story things, he's a lot
Yeah,
more
he just plays up for the
handled.
bit, and he never stops playing for the bit.
That's the biggest issue without there. But yeah, it's fine. It's all right. Um, I think that's like probably everything I have, unless something pops up in the 30-second outro or something. Go check out Wild Stuff if you haven't already. Crazy people that haven't watched Wild Aces yet. Use code
Crazy.
Wild Aces. You gotta. Yeah, why not? Even if you don't play Bad Business, go to Bad Business right now on Roblox. Go in, get your free daily credits. Go to the codes, the redeem a code Wild Aces, and then never play it again if you don't want to.
Just give Wild Aces free clout, pretty
Yes,
much.
do it. Gotta chill out for all of the guests equally, but especially Wild Aces because he has a code in a video game. So do it.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, now that the
Play
shilling's
Bad Business
over.
just so I can clickbait Wild Aces.
Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna go. Yeah, be sure to subscribe to the podcast as well. At least one more episode before things might be a bit more sporadic. I'm still gonna try, keyword try, to hopefully get like something
Weekly is
out.
not going to continue.
Weekly is definitely not gonna continue. I might be able to get Jesus or Justin on once, make like every 2 weeks, maybe at best.
So not that much different than now.
Pretty much. And
But
yeah, we're gonna
real
try to
life
keep
stuff.
it going. Yeah, real life stuff until with the Unfunny Ink House and like never,
That we
because
talked about on like half the episodes, I'd
half
say.
the episodes that we just joke about every time, because in reality it's probably never going to happen. Yeah, pretty much.
Except for the one episode where we got really serious about it for for no reason.
I don't remember why, to be honest.
That was an interesting episode of the podcast.
That was episode
Let's not say it.
9. I
I don't know.
think I don't know. They all blend together.
I think my mic was broke for that one.
I thought that was maybe. I don't know. That's about it. Unfunny Ink House coming never. Although it'd be really funny.
It would be
But
pretty funny.
if anything like that happened, it'd just be me and Justin in an apartment because tuition is expensive and nobody wants to live on campus.
So in
Fuck
like
living
2
on
years,
campus. Yeah, pretty
when
much.
Joe transfers.
Or I drop out and then never do it anyway. One of the two.
True.
Yeah. Next episode, woo, 15, probably the last one for a bit. Yeah, bye.